that dabbling thing that you third streeters do. So, now, what our job is to get these kids that are in these impoverished areas excited about science, tech, engineering, and mathematics, because they don't really have that support either at their school from their peers or at home. And so what STEM does is it's project-based. It's an after-school program where we don't help with homework or do physical education or any of that stuff. It's purely the science project. And so when we came in, they were just ending and making an instrument, musical instrument like the xylophone. Was it xylophone? Yeah. Okay, so they were just ending making xylophone, and they were transitioning to a solar-powered cars. And what that entails is not only building the framework of the car, but it's putting wheels on axles, it's gluing battery packs, and then it's by and large connecting the circuitry from the battery to a motor, to a switch, and to a solar panel. And these batteries are rechargeable. And so we try to instill a couple different things like solar power technology and also the electrical engineering. With all that being said, I got to do a little bit something extra. At the beginning, you may or may not remember Virginia talking about the Tech Challenge. And what the Tech Challenge is the Tech Museum puts on this challenge for all the Bay Area kids, I think from grade 5 to 12, where they have to solve some real-world problem. And so this year is trying to use wind energy to transport water from a subterranean bucket into a bucket on top of the table. And that was a really unique and interesting experience because these kids, they were just kind of all thrown together. And so we were asking a lot of them to work as a group with kids that they normally don't like in order to solve this challenge. And I wasn't able to go to the actual day, but the practice days, I found that I developed the highest amount of connection to these kids, more so than the actual STEM program itself. But enough about me. I'll throw it to Adam here, and he will talk about the actual STEM program.
Okay, well, when we first started and we got placed in our groups, I think everyone was a little bit hesitant because there was only, this was it that was in the group, and there were some other ones, and Virginia was like, if you don't want to be here, you could leave, and some of those people left, and so I think the STEM was like, when it was presented, it was like a little bit intimidating, but as far as it goes, it was pretty much I think it was the same as any of the other sites. Our main focus was just building a solar panel car, and but from my experience, I did most of my time at Empire Gardens, which is located off of 21st Street, and some of the things that struck me from the beginning were that these kids were really smart. And my experience, I also went to attended three other different schools, but this was the primary one I went to. And this was probably like the worst out of all of them. I had to think back to when I was in 5th grade and was like, was I cussing then? Was I, did I have a girlfriend at 5th grade? All these different things, because they were dropping like F-bombs and N-bombs and like everything, so like that really struck me, like, man, was I don't remember being this bad. And then another thing was how disinterested these kids could get when we're trying to teach them these concepts, because this building a solar panel car isn't all that easy, and to get 5th graders interested in it was a really tough challenge, each session, because they would get stuck on a problem. They would get stuck on trying to figure out how to wire the motor or soldering the metals, and they would get really disinterested fast, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, this is too hard. And so yeah, those are the two things that I really noticed, and then that I think the whole STEM program really notices that these kids are really smart, and we have to get find ways to get them in, keep them interested in what we're trying to teach them. Yeah.
From my experience in Kennedy, we work together and like we build a strong friendship. The kid, like my first experience with them is like, don't touch my stuff. That's what they told me. Then like 2 or 3 weeks later, we worked together and they came to us and they asked like how could we do it? How could we like build this together? So they just came to us and start working with us. Like later on, we just becoming more and more close, and like instead of building cars, we just play together sometimes, and making more friendly. That's what our experience is.
So in the STEM program, we helped kids with math, science, and engineering, but not in a homework help type of way, but a way as in to mentor them and make these subjects seem more fun with the hands-on activities such as the xylophones and solar-powered cars. Like at first, I was kind of skeptical about the STEM program because of the elementary school kids. I wasn't sure if I was going to get along with them because I served at the Friday session at Allender Elementary School with the 4th and 5th graders. But as the semester went by, I felt like I could connect to these kids and become friends with them. I talk sports with them often because I'm an aspiring sports reporter. I have a few internships, and we were like so into it sometimes that like our site supervisor like had to tell me to get back on track and like continue working throughout the semester to build the solar powered car. And another thing I've learned is how to be more patient and calm, especially when it came to using the tools, especially the saw because especially the saw because it took some of them more time than others. Not because of a lack of power, but maybe because they haven't used tools before, so they weren't accustomed to it.
Okay. All right. So glad you guys are still here. I know it's the last one. But anyway, I actually took about all these pictures on the slideshow right now, so I can kind of elaborate on that for you guys. But for me at STEM, I actually participated in 4 different site sessions. So I visited 4 different elementary schools, and you could definitely see a prominent difference between the interest level and also kind of the activeness of all the students in each school. And what I've definitely experienced is the earlier session around like 12-ish till 2-ish, and then have a lot more energy and are more active than the later one. It looks like the other guys like around like 3 to 5 just want to go home. So you can definitely see a positive difference with that. But I would, if I could talk about any site right now, it would definitely be Ann Darling Elementary School. These kids are amazing. Like they were really interested in these projects and in this project, and they really showed. It was like the Little Rascals, I'm telling you right now. Like they all had their own little character and their own charisma and everything like that. Like I can tell you right now, this is one of my favorite students, Ozzy, and like he would always, not only would he really want, he would take my help, like really take in my help, but he would also try to help other students after I've helped him. And I was like, Ozzy, you're finished, you're all done. He's like, no, I got this, don't worry. And then like he'll be sawing some other kid's car, and then the kid will be looking at him like, who's gonna mess it up? You know, okay, I'll take care of it. And then as you see, this one right here, she's got a little attitude. This is Jocelyn, and she was so sassy, and she had a crush on one of my co-volunteers as well. He was like a tall football player, you know, and like, but Casey right there. I'm pretty sure some of you guys know him. Yeah. But Ann Darling definitely made a lot of crazy contraptions and cars versus like a lot of the other, just some of the kids again. And overall, like, I've really grown close to Ann Darling for sure if I'm going to put any of them on the spot, but I definitely had a really great experience with all of them, for sure.
Rotate. Rotate.
Okay, and I actually made a little video for the petition.
The video is of what the kids had to do, you know.
Yeah, so basically, we took some class time apart to do this video. Yeah. Please hold technical difficulties. Is the audio connected to this?
I just like to say that I had a great time volunteering at Empire Gardens. When I first showed up there, they gave me a nickname. My name is Adam, so they all called me Adam Levine. And like there's another guy that I worked with. His name is Jesse, and they called him Macklemore because he looks like Macklemore.
Oh, that didn't go. Yeah. Oh, before I started, sorry, I wanted to say one more thing. One of my most common experiences, as you saw the girl sticking her tongue out, Jocelyn. While we were sawing, one child was waiting for a very long time to saw hers, but she wanted to do a little touch-up. But then she was like, "Can I just cut mine real quick? Can I just saw mine real quick?" And I was like, "No, Jocelyn, you have to wait. It's kind of like the grocery store. If you just have a candy bar to buy, and the other person in front of you has a whole thing of groceries, but they've been waiting first, they get to go first because they've been waiting before." And she gave me this like, okay. And not only did she actually listen to me and wait, she actually helped him out because she realized if I help him out a little bit, then I'll get to it faster. So I just want to say, like, they really take in your advice, and they don't know what's right, or they don't know what they're doing wrong is wrong until they're told otherwise. But anyway.